guys, today I'm going to talk about some winter hair care tips. You can obviously use these tips throughout the year, but I think it's definitely important to look after your hair during the winter time, especially if you live in a very, very cold place. I live on the East Coast and it's super cold here during the winter and the air is like really dry, so I have to take extra care of my hair. These are some of the things that I do to sort of help keep the nourishment inside the hair and keep it healthy and shiny. The first thing that I think is important to talk about is the hair strand itself. Each hair strand has cuticles on it. When we're born, all of our cuticles are flat like this. But with wear and tear and us doing stuff to our hair, sometimes the cuticles can move up like this. That's when the hair loses its shine, its luster, and it sort of feels drier. Like it doesn't feel smooth when you touch the hair. That's why when you use like hair straighteners, you're flattening the cuticle so it feels smoother and it reflects more light so it looks shinier. It is also able to retain more moisture into the hair strand itself because the cuticle protects the meaty side of the hair. So when it lays flat, more moisture can get locked in. When we sort of color our hair and use too much heat on our hair, we can really damage that cuticle. So the point of all these things is to keep that cuticle laying flat down naturally by itself and overall get healthier, more beautiful, and shiny hair. Also, when the cuticle lays flat, it's more easy for the hair not to break. For example, when the cuticle is up like that, it sort of breaks easier. So as I said, the goal is to keep the cuticle laying like this. So some ways that you can take care of your cuticles in your hair is by using conditioners and moisturizers. Now there's so many different conditioners on the market, but there are also ones that you can do at home. And I've been doing hair masks for many years. The ones that I think work best contain ingredients like egg, honey, coconut oil, yogurt, mayonnaise, which is basically egg and olive oil put together. That will infuse your hair with lots of good proteins. It will make it very shiny, and overall it'll help the cuticle lay down flat. I suggest using a hair mask every week or every other week. It will really help your hair naturally become stronger. So one of my favorite conditioners that you can buy in store is the Macadamia Natural Oil Deep Repair Mask, which looks like this. I've heard so many people talking about this on YouTube. Got it from Amazon for about $26, I think. This is 16.9 fluid ounces, 500 mLs. So it's very big. It is a deep repair mask. You're supposed to use it like once a week or once every other week. But since I only wash my hair twice a week, I just use this as my conditioner. My hair feels as though it's been straightened with straightening irons, and it really hasn't. I have not straightened my hair today, and this is what my hair looks like. So it looks very shiny and very straight. I really love this conditioner. I bought it by myself and everything. I'm not sponsored by them. Definitely do think it's a great conditioner, a great investment if you have very dry hair and you're looking for something that will really smoothen out your hair. I've recently been using this Carol's Daughter 2E moisturizing leave-in conditioner. I spoke about this in one of my favorites quite recently actually. I just spray this onto wet hair when I get out of the shower, just a little spritz on the ends of my hair, and it sort of just adds a little bit more moisture. And then again, the ingredients are really good. There's no silicones, no parabens, yada. Definitely check this out if you guys are interested in a leave-in conditioner. I sometimes just add some raw jojoba or Moroccan oil to the palm of my hand and run that through my hair when it's wet, just to give it some more protection. And again, that's like totally 100% natural, so definitely recommend that as well. We really need to be careful of the ingredients that we put in our hair and do research into what these products actually contain. So the one that I really recommend is the Tea Tree Triple Treat Invigorating Shampoo, which I've also spoken about before. This shampoo is definitely one of my favorites, and I love it a lot because of its ingredients. The first two ingredients, which are basically like the most that this thing is made out of, is purified water and aloe vera juice. It also has a ton of different good things. There's tea tree, nettle extract, thyme, eucalyptus, lavender, sage, the list goes on and on. I absolutely love this shampoo. Another one is this Nature's Gate shampoo, and this is the herbal one. I have been loving this shampoo so much. It has some amazing ingredients in this. That's really what I look for when I'm buying any type of product, really, that's like for my hair, for my body. Don't believe marketing, don't believe the advertising. You need to like research by yourself and find out, okay, this is actually good for my hair, this is not good for my hair. This causes hair loss, this causes hair breakage. Let me just avoid that ingredient. Another thing that I mentioned in my previous hair care video was that you should avoid brushing your hair when it's wet. I did some more research into this and I found out that the hair strand can stretch up to 30% before it breaks. When it's wet, it becomes so much more fragile. If you have a piece of tissue and you wet the tissue and you can stretch it, it'll break easier than if you stretched it when it was dry. And that's the same concept that happens with hair, so it's definitely important to avoid brushing your hair when it's wet. And if you do have to brush it when it's wet, try using a very wide tooth comb to sort of just brush through your hair like once or twice, and then sort of try to like finger comb it. So with that said, when I get out of the shower, I just pat dry my hair. Like, I don't dry my hair with a towel like that, because again, that creates that rise in the cuticle, which we want to avoid. Squeeze the water out of my hair with a towel, and then I let it air dry for like about 20 minutes. Then I take a wide tooth comb, I just brush through it like once, wait for it to dry even more, and then right before it gets really dry, like normal dry, I take my hair dryer and I flip my head and I just run through heat, maybe a minute and a half, just to give my hair some volume. Another thing that I do during the winter time is to wear a hat, and it's very important to protect your scalp. When it gets very cold, it gets usually very dry, and your poor scalp gets so cold, it becomes dry and then it becomes itchy and you have all these problems. So I love wearing like a very fluffy hat like this. For example, I just think it's just so freaking cute. That cold, dry air won't like penetrate into my scalp and like affect my hair. I always sleep with my hair up in a loose bun, so I just sort of put it up like that and put a little scrunchie around that so that my hair doesn't like rub against the pillow too much and against my back, because again, that causes that cuticle to rise up. So when it's sort of up in the bun, nothing is really touching it. Oh, and another thing that I quickly want to say is I'm gonna stop coloring my hair. In the first ever video that I did about my hair, I explained that I have some highlights in my hair. I have a gold tone highlight and a caramel tone highlight, and I only have them in the top section of my hair. But I'm gonna stop doing that now because I really want to grow out my natural hair color, and I want to make my hair as healthy as possible. I've been coloring my hair for about, I don't know, 6 years, just like highlighting it. So it's gonna be really interesting to see what my hair is gonna look like, how it's gonna feel when it's just by itself, natural, like virgin hair. That's what I want. Those are some of my tips. Let me know what you guys do to keep your hair healthy. If you have any like little tips or tricks or products that you really like to use that aren't packed with chemicals, definitely let me know below. So thank you guys so much for watching. I will talk to you guys soon. Mwah.